everyone. We call this regular session of the Columbia County Board of Education to order. On behalf of the board and superintendent, we appreciate your presence and involvement of the school district. Our regularly scheduled board meetings are a time for the board, superintendents, like the staff, to conduct important business in a transparent public format. To ensure our meeting goes smoothly, professionally, and efficiently, we ask everyone to maintain an appropriate level of decorum at all times. Please abstain from any conduct that would be disruptive or disrespectful. We ask our students, families, and those who have joined us this evening to celebrate special recognitions and recommendations to remain until all acknowledgments and our board comments have been made. After that, we'll take a short break and dismiss those participating in this portion of the meeting, if you wish to. At this time, please silence your cell phones or other communication devices. Again, thank you for attending our meeting this evening. Tonight, we are honored to have Pastor Reverend Roscoe Perry from First Mount Carmel Baptist Church to provide us with the invocation. I'd like to come right up here, Pastor.
Let us bow our heads. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, we thank you so much for another day. Thank you for the opportunity to govern, and we pray blessings on this body and those who gather here in our county, God, that you would bless us, that you would cover us, that you would give us your grace and your mercy. Let this meeting go in a way, God, that is ordained and planned by you. Bless every home that is represented in our county. Keep us in your holy care and bind us together in love. We bless your name and honor you today. In the name of he who said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I'll draw all men unto me. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Next, we are honored to have the 4-H presidents from Lewiston Elementary School here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If y'all will come forward, I'd like to introduce y'all. Okay, that's good. Just turn around and let me introduce y'all. When I call your name, if you'll take a step forward, and if you have any family members here, they'll stand so we can honor them as well. Wally Aiken, Hadley Conklin, Caden Cunningham. Please give these presents to them. All right, presents, our flag is right over here. If everyone will stand. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Hello. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? All right, that passes 4-1. Next, I'll turn it over to Dr. Flint for special recognitions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, board members. Good evening to all of our guests. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations to those of you we're going to be recognizing tonight. We're looking forward to doing that now. I'm going to ask Dr. Carroll if she'll come forward to help me with these recognitions so I can pass out the certificates as you come forward. Again, thank you for joining us. We're very proud of all of the accomplishments, but especially those of you this evening.
Good evening. We have 2 groups this evening to present for special recognitions. To all of our students and advisors, when we call your name, if you'll come forward and remain standing until the whole group has come up for a photo. Principals, we also invite you to join your students when they are called, and family members here to support your students, please stand when your child's name is called as well. First, we have the Georgia Cyber Patriot State Competition winners. Cyber Patriot, the National Youth Cyber Education Program, is a STEM program of the Air and Space Forces Association. It was created to inspire K-12 students to pursue careers in cybersecurity or other science, technology, engineering, and mathematics disciplines critical to our nation's future. At the center of Cyber Patriot is the National Youth Cyber Defense Competition, which puts teams of high school and middle school students in the position of newly hired IT professionals tasked with managing a small company's network. Through a series of online competition rounds, teams are given a set of virtual operating systems and tasked with finding and fixing cybersecurity vulnerabilities while maintaining critical services. The top teams in the nation receive all expense-paid trips to Maryland for the national finals competition, where they can earn national recognition and scholarships. First, we have Greenbrier Middle. First place, the Wolfpack Bite Brigade. We have Emma Jo Harper. Isaac Lee. Mason Rice. Mason Rice. And then Isaac Welton. Elliot Yu. James Humans. Go ahead and get a picture for this first place group.
With practice.
Congratulations to our first grade. We have second place, the Circuits. We have Tarek Halele Ulu. And Sarud Madam. Josiah Randolph. Tobias Shoemaker. Son. Cyrus Tutu. Their advisor is Loredana Schultz, and she has sponsored the team since their induction. Mr. Toby Shoemaker and Mr. Joseph Harper, and of course Principal Tony Collier. This is the 8th consecutive year that a team from Greenbrier Middle School has placed first in the state competition. 8th consecutive year a team from Greenbrier Middle School has placed first in the state competition. That's great. Grovetown High School, first place, Gold Tier Award, Open Division, with Dion Jackson Henriquez. Caleb Johnson. Vasu Kedka. Jr. The advisor is Stephen Hahn and Principal Andrew Young. Congratulations to all our recognition for this evening goes to the State of Georgia National Junior and Senior Beta Club competition winners. The National Beta Club is one of the oldest and most prestigious clubs students can join. It was founded in 1934 by Dr. John W. Harris. a Wofford College professor. It is a club that believes in and encourages leadership, academic success, character, and service. Students are invited based on academic success as well as outstanding character and integrity. Each year, students are encouraged to compete in the National Beta Club State Convention in Savannah, Georgia, for an opportunity to showcase a vast array of talents at the Georgia level. Placing the top 5 allows students an additional opportunity to compete at the National Beta Club National Convention at the national level. These students participated in the state competitions in Savannah on December 3rd and 4th, 2025. First, we have Blue Ridge Elementary School for the National Junior Beta Club State Competition. First place in the spelling competition is Rabu Thumsi. Place in the musicology competition, Adelie Baker. Athena Cronin. Happiness Masson. Margaret Robertson. Ward Walker. And Hannah Wimmer. Laura Walker and Erica Cox and Principal Bridget Clyde. Second place in Social Studies academic competition is Vivek Raval. Advisors are Patricia or Pat Deagle and Pamela Lockamy. Congratulations to our junior senior National Beta Club State Competition winners. From Evans High School, second place in the solo, duo, trio vocalist competition, Liliana Miller Lofton. Liliana was also recognized by the National Beta Club for her achievements and will be featured as a premier performer at nationals this summer. And Susan Wiggs. And on behalf of Principal Mr. White, we have Ashley Kabler. From Greenbrier High School, third place in the visual arts drawing competition, Blake Summers. Advisors are Amanda Harper and co-sponsor David Wood, along with Principal Chip Plummer. Next is Harlem High School, first place in the Painting Division 1 competition, Devin Curtis. Third place in the Pottery Division 2 competition, Jessica Servin. And third place in the Book Battle online competition, Julia Hingle. Autumn LaFrance. Sophia Middleton. And Christina Van Boris. Students will also be attending the National Convention in Nashville, Tennessee in June to compete against other beta clubs across the nation. We also have their advisors Lisa Wilson, Tracy Rowland, Congratulations to all of our senior Beta for special recognitions for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Carroll. Let's start with our board comments with Ms. Katie Allen tonight.
All right. First and foremost, thank you, Reverend Harry, for starting us off in the right direction and thanking the Lord for this meeting and for all our work here. So thank you. Pledge allegiance 4-Hers. I know it's so much work and a lot of pressure to do it, but y'all did wonderful. So great job. Cyber Patriot competition, I'm sure takes a few moments to get recognized. So much work behind the scenes. So great job with all your placements. Data Club, same thing. So much work behind the scenes, but also to the advisors. I think we see the students, we see the families, but when you see the work the advisors go through to make these things possible, these clubs possible, so an extra shout out to them. And Sophie, I'm proud of you, Mary.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Ms. Chrissy Baker.
I echo everything Mrs. Allen said. Pastor, thank you so much for our invitation. Know a little bit about your area and your church, and hopefully we'll make it out there someday. So thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it. I know I've heard patients talking, where I work, people talking about your church, and they think very highly of you and all that you do for your area. So thank you so much. To our 4-H leaders, we have a special place for you guys because we love 4-H. My father was very involved. I grew up in it in South Carolina. Mr. Deagle was heavily involved. I think Mrs. Teasley was in 4-H. I'm not sure. You were in 4-H as well, correct?
No, my kids were.
Your kids were. So, and Mr. Kent, I'm not sure if you were in 4-H. A little bit of 4-H. So it's very special to us. We do appreciate all that you do and your leadership. So we look forward to seeing great things from you guys as you have your career in Columbia County. So thank you. To all our special recognition, and like Ms. Allen said, to our advisors and teachers and parents, thank you so much for going the extra mile. It shows here that, I know Mrs. Teasley will jump into this and say it much better than I will, but all the areas that are covered here, I'm a little interested in the book battle team. I'm not familiar with that, probably heard about it, just would like some more information on what it involves. I think it sounds very interesting. But yes, shoot us some emails on your visual arts drawing, your paintings, your pottery, things that you do. We'd love to hear more about it, so thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Judy Teasley.
There's not a whole lot more to be said other than thank you for all of your efforts. We definitely appreciate them. We are proud of you. Y'all are excelling in things that we can barely spell, much less participate in. But we are grateful for all that you do, for your parents who make sacrifices to get you where you need to be on time, for your sponsors that put in the extra hours of the day, for all the people that do everything that needs to be done to make it possible for y'all to really shine. We appreciate that. We're thankful for the people in this room that continue to do what they do day in and day out, support all of you in the buildings, and together I think you all make a great team, so please keep up the good work. We appreciate the blessings. Yes, so let me say a word about the workforce quickly. Yes, it was awesome, and please don't miss it next year. Not only did our CCBOE students compete and compete well, but we had additional opportunities for them there this year. We had the Georgia State Patrol, and we had other vendors there with huge 18-wheelers with simulators inside. They could drive backhoes, they could drive cars, they could, I mean, it was awesome. They would not let me stay all day, I had to leave. But it was awesome for our students, not only participated, but other students could come there after they got out of class. So all of you sitting in the room, if you don't know about CCBOE, please go back to school and ask your advisor. So that in middle school, you can get involved, and in high school, you can definitely select a pathway. You can do that in addition to dual enrollment. You have many options as a Columbia County student, so use every one of them. It can only make your experience better. So again, thank you all very much.
And last but not least, Mr. Philip Kent.
How many times you crashed that simulator?
I'm going to ask, somebody's got a video of it, but if they show it, it will not end well for them.
Thank you, Pastor Perry, an indication, and congratulations to the best and brightest community. It's always nice to recognize them for sure. And to see the parents and the students that are behind the scenes come out and support them as well. And reverse on a roll. I mean, first place state, that's That's pretty awesome. I noticed the Cyber Patriot t-shirts, which are really cool, by the way. On the back, you got some pretty big names on there. Northrop Grumman, you got Cisco, the big companies making big investments right in our backyard. And hopefully we don't take that for granted. What a great partnership we have with AU and Fort and the Cyber Center downtown. It's excellent. Congratulations, junior and senior beta club recipients, competitors, winners. With that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Echo everything that was said. I just want to thank all parents who have raised great, wonderful kids. We're very proud of your accomplishments. Just keep it going. Look forward to seeing you the next time around when you win something. So congratulations. At this time, that concludes this portion of the meeting. We'll take a short break and let our students and parents leave if they wish to do so, and any others that may be here just for this part of the meeting. Turn it back over to Dr. Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, board members, for that nice recognition. We'll move on to approval of consent items. We can take that up all together unless you have questions about an individual item. But at this time, we recommend approval of the consent items as presented.
All in favor of approval of consent items 7, 8, and E, please raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you. We'll move on to superintendent reports. As you know, the Princeton transfer application window was open on January 14th. That went through February 6th for families who have students currently enrolled in one of our schools to apply where seats or space is available in another school. Before you use an overview of the schools with available seats and the number of requests for seats at each school during that application period.
Call those students back in.
As that's coming up as a reminder, parents who requested permissive transfers do need to provide their own transportation to that school that they select. All right, you can see the number of spaces available in schools that were available, and then ultimately the number of spaces that were reserved. We'll move on. Last week we celebrated National School Counseling Appreciation Week. This is an important time when we can recognize all of our outstanding school counselors and the impact they have on the academic success and other successes of our students. Before you are a few photos of some of our school counselors. We're so grateful for each and every one of these dedicated professionals. Thank you to all of our school counselors, and happy National School Counseling Week. As we heard a little bit about already, the 6th annual CTA Workforce Showcase took place last Friday at the Support Department Complex, and it really was a huge success. I don't know if now I'm going to get in trouble because there you are. Thank you actually for being a part of that. It really was a cool day. Students in the CCA pathways from each of our 5 high schools participated in a variety of events showcasing industry skills that they learned. The Home Builders Association provided 2 virtual simulator trucks enabling students to virtually operate heavy equipment, as well as Georgia Department of Transportation for providing very realistic driving simulator. And Ms. Heisman, thank you for helping make that happen. Thank you for being here this evening. The Columbia County School District as well Foundation was able to secure funding from some other incredible business partners for 3 $1,000 scholarships, as well as 1 additional toolbox award for $500. So some really amazing things going on out there. We got to thank all of our partners, and you, those of you who went out there saw all of these folks just really excited about their craft, but even more excited about sharing that with our students. The award winners are pictured before you. So again, thank you for everybody that's involved, and we're looking forward to this just becoming bigger and bigger every year. It really was. It's been a great success over the years, but having it in our own support department complex really worked out well. So we're going to be looking to learn from that and continue to get better. Pre-K registration for the 2025-26 school year opens on February 23rd through March 20th. Parents can register their child at their zone school. To be eligible for the drawing, a child must reside in one of the school zones that have a pre-K program available. A listing of schools with programs is on the screen before you. It's also on our website. And the other items are on the agenda or dates of upcoming events. But board members, that concludes this part of the presentation unless you have any other questions in there.
I have two questions. One, about how many counselors do we have? I'm just curious.
Mr. Campbell, Dr. Campbell, sorry.
Probably around 30 for high school, middle school, probably around
20?
25. That's a ballpark.
Thank you. And the this is our first year at the support complex.
For the workforce show.
Yes, how did that go? I hate miss it at work.
Yeah,
I maybe
no,
I
excellent. As you know, we have a lot of ground space out there, and so we were a little bit worried because we had some of those large activities where we used the driving area as the sheriff's office, which worked well, but it really went well. Ms. Teasley got to see it. Mr. Smith, where you?
Strangely, you didn't show up for obvious reasons.
You know, I always call out the folks that don't come. But he did a great job, and we were able to sit down and kind of debrief with some of that yesterday, and he was pretty excited about it.
The JA Center for the law enforcement students was awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice. And it'll be a good thing and a bad thing, but when we get even more students involved, we probably aren't going to be able to fit into that auditorium, so we'll have to do the opening kind of ceremony somewhere else, which is fine because we got plenty of room out there. But it was nice to open it in the theater, so that was really fun. Thank you for those questions.
Thank you, Dr. Flint. Next on our agenda is public participation. This evening we have 4 speakers who submitted requests for public participation. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes to address the board. Unless you want to do it last year. You care? Good. As stated in board policy PCBI, we ask that you provide your intended comments while refraining from derogatory remarks. We also ask that our audience show proper decorum by listening respectfully, avoiding any actions or comments that might distract or detract from the speaker's time and remarks. Our first participant this evening is Ms. Diane Jarrett.
Good evening, board members. First, even though most of the cyber monsters are gone, I'd like to congratulate them. I also want to thank the Columbia County school system because it's what my son grew up through from kindergarten to graduation. And it's really imbued him with curiosity and creativity and helps in what he's doing now, which is he's considered an expert at making mobile games. Well, I will add something to what I've got in front of me, which is I'm a former journalist. So I will tell you that the First Amendment, because of that, means an awful lot to me. And I'm here to speak and ask for real support for the First Amendment by you all. And not shadow censorship that's not First Amendment friendly. I know it's not particularly trendy at the moment to be solidly for the First Amendment. And I listened to the superintendent's process for reviewing materials for curriculum and otherwise a few weeks ago that was read to the folks here in the room. And it seemed at that point, listening to it, that it was just fine. But I've since learned that it's not exactly followed the way it was presented, and that presents a problem to me. it does not seem to respect the pillar of our democracy, which is the First Amendment. It seems instead to favor just the complainer, who has, in this case, no kids in our school system, and brings in an excerpt they found kind of titillating on the internet somewhere. It seems that person's not read the book or read it in context, but yet I would say that particular individual has a lot of prejudice. The superintendent's process needs to possibly be amended, either to include both a pro and a con in presentation to the review board for each book that's questioned, or perhaps a requirement that the deciding committee of parents must read the whole book before making the ultimate decision. Censorship as currently practiced, sadly, in this county is, to me, very un-American, especially in the 250th year since the Declaration of Independence was signed, and fundamentally against the principles subscribed to by Jefferson and Madison. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Our next public participant is Ms. Karen Farley.
Bear with me, I have to use my phone tonight because my printer wasn't working and I don't like to use my phone. So good evening, my name is Karen Parham. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Last week I traveled to the state capitol and testified in committee to oppose Senate Bill 74. As currently written, SB 74 retains the exemption from criminal prosecution for librarians only if material alleged to be harmful to minors is handled in accordance with the direction of the governing body, which would be this board. That language raises serious concerns when viewed alongside the district's current procedures. After the recent challenges were submitted in May, the district changed its review procedure in a way that allows books to be evaluated without being read in their entirety. But books must be evaluated as a whole. Under Georgia law, that requirement applies specifically when determining whether material is harmful to minors. And such a determination can not be made using excerpts or isolated passages. Yet under the current review process, that standard was changed so that it's no longer applied during the committee review process. I continue to find it deeply disturbing that I need to convince a room full of educators of the importance of reading a whole book. The district has also argued that it accepted these challenges under its own discretion rather than under the harmful to minors framework established in state law. However, that narrative is difficult to reconcile with the record. The challenger explicitly stated in her email communications that she was bringing these as harmful to minors challenges, and the concerns raised consistently echoed claims of obscenity. So those are precisely the circumstances under which Georgia law requires the use of the harmful to minors framework, and under that law, the challenger was not eligible to bring forth these challenges. At present, this raises serious questions about the district's compliance with the harmful to minors framework already established under state law. However, if SB 74 were to pass, I am concerned that continuing to process harmful to minors challenges outside that framework could expose staff to legal risk despite their good faith reliance on district procedures. I strongly encourage the district to seek guidance from legal counsel regarding SB 74 and whether current procedures require modification to ensure compliance and to protect staff. Finally, because SB 74 would require committee and board members to undergo training on Georgia's obscenity laws, I urge the district to ensure that such training also includes First Amendment principles as they apply to public schools. Training that addresses only Georgia's obscenity laws risks narrowing decision-making in ways that overlook the district's additional responsibility to protect students' First Amendment rights. Thank you.
Ms. Barton. Our next public participant this evening is Greta Newman.
Good evening. My name is Greta Newman, and I'm a Columbia County resident and a parent of a high school student over at Lakeside. And I have two things to talk about today, completely unrelated. The first is that during the recent school lockdown, I was one of the parents who was directed to leave Carline and take cover in the ROTC room. which is accessed by both an outside door and an inside door to the school. I spent the time watching, waiting, and texting my kiddo who was barricaded in the locker room. I have no criticisms. The teacher that was there did a wonderful job, and I thoroughly enjoyed when she put one of the complaining parents in their place. So, but I do have a few lessons learned that I thought might be helpful throughout the district for other schools as we go through and have more drills and training and everything. The first is we had a single teacher responsible in the ROTC room, which contained about 50 to 100 students and parents. While the teacher had radio and cell phone contact with someone else, this was an impossible task for them to manage by themselves because they're trying to listen to that. They can't give instructions to the students. They can't keep them quiet. And so we need to make sure that we've got at least multiple staff members in there if this is going to happen again. Like I said, the teacher had to listen to the radio constantly and unable to provide directions as the noise level increased because the kids are worried, they're excited, their noise level's going up and up. In an emergency situation, they should be really quiet because they need to be able to receive that direction and because we don't know who's trying to enter. There are also no instructions to turn off notifications, and I heard notification after notification after notification for well over an hour. I don't know exactly how long they were there, but it was at least an hour. So that would be an important thing to do. Most importantly, the teacher was unable to locate the devices that are used to brace the doors from the inside, and she looked everywhere. She asked for radio assistance. No one could help her with that. She ultimately had to leave the room for about 10 to 15 minutes to go and look for them. And in the meantime, she had to instruct one of the parents to hold the outer door closed as hard as he could, and another parent was posted at the inner door and only could open it if she knocked. She was gone for about 10 to 15 minutes, really trying to find something. And when she came back, she still had not found that device or those devices that she needed to brace the doors. She reminded the parent at the exterior door repeatedly to continue to hold that door because I think at that point they understood that there was someone that was outside.
Christina, we appreciate the comments.
Thank you.
It's always good to have feedback.
Appreciate it.
Our next public participant is Kara Parker.
I want to start by saying thank you for returning 10 books to the shelves that had been removed from student access since August pending review. I do applaud your effort to try and start rectifying the situation. Unfortunately, that's not good enough. As much as I expect excellence, honesty, and integrity from my child as a student in Columbia County Public Schools, I also expect the same from the district and board. I want to summarize the facts for everyone. On May 13th, the non-parent submitted a packet of book challenges to the board, but non-parents cannot challenge books. 6 days later, on May 19th, the district created a parallel process to bypass the current policy. 9 days after the procedure change, on May 28th, the District Media Review Committee met and banned books behind closed doors, directly using the book challenge material that was submitted by that non-parent on May 13th. Dr. Flint told me he can't recall the reason for the procedure change. Well, I can tell you what it looks like. It looks like the district created a loophole to allow someone with no children in public schools to ban books that they don't like. I would like to operate under the assumption that the district had no ill intent when creating this procedure. I'm sure you didn't mean to undermine parent rights and education and give non-parents more power than parents. I would think that you would not knowingly give a community member a loophole to ban books using religious justification. That would violate my child's First Amendment right to receive information. Unfortunately, that's how it looks. We've already have the harmful to minors policy in place, per state law, allowing parents to challenge books to their school. There is no reason for a more restrictive procedure when Ms. Gregg told me in September that no parents have challenged books per the policy. I wonder why this procedure change was needed. If you did this to appease an outspoken community member, I'm sorry, but I can be louder. I think that you don't understand that you did not choose the path of least resistance here. The difference between your book banners and myself is that your policies actually affect my children. Once again, I'm asking you to rescind the procedure and follow the harmful to minors policy, only allowing book challenges by parents. Parents have been calling you to action for months with no response. If you're unwilling to partner with parents on this issue, we will continue to escalate, and we're not going away. If you look in the audience, how many parents have spoken out tonight against your book bans, and where are the book banners?
That concludes public participation. Next, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session. Mr. Vice Chairman.
Yes, make a motion to return to executive session to discuss personal, legal, and real estate matters.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the board will go into executive session. On our completion, we will return to conclude our agenda. Thank you very much.
Motion that the chairman be directed to execute an affidavit in accordance with state law, affirming that no subject was discussed during executive session that violating the open meeting law of the state board.
All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed, seeing none, that's approved. I'll sign the affidavit.
Make a motion that the personnel sheet as discussed in executive session be approved.
All in favor, raise your hand. All right, personnel sheet is approved. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.